The winter of 1777 to 1778 was the low point of America's journey for independence. They had been defeated by the British in the Battle of Germantown on October 1st. General George Washington led his army to camp at Valley Forge.
The army lived in damp, crowded quarters. 12,000 people suffered from lack of food and clothing.
There was a scarcity of supplies in the camp, and blankets and clothes had come in the summer when they were much less needed.
There were some cabins that were tolerable, but most soldiers lived in a canvas tent that fed up to 8 people. This spread disease very quickly, getting many people sick. Due to the freezing temperatures, spreading disease, few supplies, and low morale, roughly 11,000 volunteers had left, and 2,000 more had died of hunger and disease.
George Washington started a smallpox vaccination to try and prevent the disease from spreading. The medics would create wounds in the soldiers' arms and take some of the pus from the pox that were developed from the soldiers that were already infected and rub it into the wounds.
Lieutenant William Barton, a soldier, wrote to his father, Gilbert Barton of Allentown, New Jersey. He complained of the amount of clothes provided for the troops and lack of sweets.
Agree very well with me.
Valley Forge was not really a battle. It was more of a turning point in the war for the colonists. At the time, Congress was having trouble raising money from the states and could not properly fund the troop. Many soldiers were not even paid.
During the most brutal part of the war, General Washington and Quaker Potts were riding horseback in Montgomery County nearby their camps. They stopped at a wooded area. Potts' daughter, Ruth Anna, said,
The great George Washington was on his knees alone, with his sword on one side and his cocked hat on the other. He was at prayer to the God of the armies, beseeching to interpose with his divine aid, as it was a crisis in the cause of the country, of humanity, and of the world.
She concluded with,
Such a prayer I never heard from the lips of man.
He was then left alone to pray.
Prussian General Friedrich von Steuben came to the camp in February and was assigned by Washington to train the army.
He had previously been a staff member during the 7 Years' War and been a Prussian officer in the military. He had approached Benjamin Franklin, searching for work with the Continental Army in America. Benjamin directed him to Valley Forge.
Drilling started immediately. From dawn to dusk, the soldiers were training in war discipline, becoming a cohesive fighting force by the end of the winter.
Baron von Steuben would yell and curse at the Continental Army in French and German, and eventually recruited Captain Benjamin Walker to curse at them for him in English.
The ego-crushing methods of this boot camp were practiced along the soldiers with efficacy. Firing and reloading weapons were practiced until it became a second nature.
The remaining troops used their training from all winter to cross the Delaware River and defeat the Hessians on Christmas night, going on to be the British's best army general, Earl Cornwallis.
If the troops had not camped Valley Forge, they would have never been able to obtain the proper training that would help them prepare for future battles that would lead them to the end of the war.
Although there were many hardships during the time spent at the camp, the soldiers ended up better fighters and had higher morale, helping them win the war.